I just need to count once. I need this is right in my brain.
At this time, I will call our January 23rd meeting of the Macon County Board of Education to order. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here. The weather outside is not the greatest in the world, but at least it's dry in here, so we'll make do the best we can. This time, like I said, we're welcome. So if I could, at this time we usually turn to our Vice Chair, Tommy Cave. So if we'd like everyone to please rise.
This time we just take a moment of silence for our veterans, and we usually say veterans, but this includes law officers. They seem to be in more harm's way than our veterans anyway. Kind of scary. But bow our heads by a moment of silence. Thank you.
You will also turn to Garrett. Tommy, if you would, as a veteran, would you lead us in our pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Everyone be seated. I've had one of those Mondays, so I'll look at Renee and other board members and try to keep me on task. There's no telling exactly what I may say as we go through this. So anyway, Mr. Henning, if you would please.
Mr. Chairman, the reason for the closed session tonight is the one stated in GS 143-13.1186 to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, fitness, conditions of appointment, or conditions of initial employment of an individual public officer employee or prospective public officer employee.
The board has heard the reasons for going into closed session. Do I hear a motion that we do so?
I make a motion to go into closed session because the reason why John said.
Okay. Do I hear a second? Second. Have a motion second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. We will try to return as quickly as we can.
Don't make a noise.
At this time, all the board is back. I'll do the same motion as we return to open session. Do I hear that motion? Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our regular scheduled meeting from December the 19th. I think that was included. All the board members had a chance to review that. Were there any questions, changes? Did any board member noted? Hearing none, if we have a motion to accept it, then do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next is the adoption of our agenda. Are there any changes? Other than we do have one amendment that we need to add, I think. That was for the board members we have, and I thought I had it laid out here. It's in our package, so it's Dr. Baldwin. We need to add the amendment of a request for, I think, Buddy Huckabee on behalf of Franklin High School to accompany 64 students to various winter guard competitions. It was in the packet, what everyone had to look at, so that will be added onto the list of approvals for overnight out district trip requests. Any other changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion that we adopt the agenda with the one amendment.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment that you have just read.
Stated out very good. Do I hear a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, so I'm saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next is our spotlight on people and programs. Dr. Baldwin, I think on Macon County Board, you had something to
Yes,
bring
Mr.
up.
Chairman. January is School Board Appreciation Month, and I have the honor of speaking for everyone here and for the other residents of Macon County that we appreciate the sacrifices that you and the other board members make in the interest of our children. Certainly can't thank you enough for that. I would like to point out that Mr. Embry Love was sworn in on December 2008 and has served as a board member for 8 years. Mr. Tommy Cave was sworn in on December the 2nd, 2002, and has served as board member for 14 years. Melissa Evans was sworn in on December the 3rd, 2012. This is 4 years for her. Coach Goldsmith was sworn in in December 2014 and served for 2 years. Stephanie McCall was sworn in on November the 9th, 2009, and again on December the 1st, 2010. The first time she was sworn in to finish the term by Fredo Penny, and then officially on December the 1st, 2010, and has served for 7 years now.
Very good.
And again, all of us, thank you for your sacrifice.
So I assume you're taking us all to dinner and recognition of that.
It's not a bad
Is that
idea.
what we're here?
And be hungry when we get out of here.
I don't know, like a little pressure. I am going to step out of character if the board will allow me a little latitude and recognize Mr. Shields. Would you recognize our special guest tonight and explain what the young man is doing and why he's here? I think it's very, very appropriate, so we'd like to. Okay. Will, if you would come up. I think this is Mr. Will Shields. And Gary is sent out, and I think we've decided Gary is your great uncle. Is that right?
Sir.
But however, I'm going to let Will explain who he is and why he's here, and I'm just very, very impressed. So Will.
I am Will Shields, representing Macon Middle FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. I am coming here to see how parliamentary procedure works in an actual session, because I am competing in Greensboro in May for parliamentary procedure. Hoping to bring one home for Macon Middle.
You're what grade at Macon Middle?
8th grade.
8th grade. So this will be actually your first opportunity to actually compete at the state level, correct?
Last year we had an opportunity to compete at the state level. I got first place and recognized in a national magazine for spreadsheets.
And that's like a little pressure we expect you to repeat. Okay.
Pressure, middle school, that's what we do anyway.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Will. That's very impressive. Good luck. Okay. I don't think there's anything else in presentations, Dr. Ball. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Recognitions, public comment. Here we have, all right. As always, we open up the floor. We have a sign-up sheet, no one signed. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we will move on. Informational items, student transfers. I think all the board saw in your packet the request from Mr. Jetter on those. Any questions? I don't see Mr. Jetter here.
I am representing Mr. Jeter tonight. He did ask me to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Does any board members have any questions of Stephanie? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion that we approve the request to approve the student transfers. So we have one from our Highland representative. We have the motion. Do I hear a second? Have a motion second. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Overnight out of district trip requests. Again, everyone's had a chance to look those over. Were there any questions? Of course, we did have the one amendment, remember, from Mr. Huckabee that we added there. Does anyone have any questions? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A motion, we approve the request as presented. Do I hear a second?
Second.
On the motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Tim, I think you're going to be putting those up on the screen for us. All right, Franklin High School, Mr. Woody's not here. I think we had a request for advanced theater.
Three items, Mr. Goodlove, a spring musical, pancake breakfast, and a murder mystery parody. The funds will go towards needs of the student class.
I believe all those have been done in the past, correct?
They have.
I would make a motion to accept.
Have a motion to approve the Franklin High School request. Do I hear a second? Have a motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. To Olive Valley. If you would, I know does see Ms. Bell here. She's here. Ms. Bell, you also want to give us a quick rundown on those? Have we done them? Exactly what it is?
The last month we presented to you about our pursuit of Leader in Me for our school. And so these are the first two fundraisers that we would like to pursue to gain funding for Leader in Me.
And what do you do with funding for Leader in Me? And I'm somewhat familiar with the program, but what do you do with the funding?
We are hoping to implement the staff development that comes along with becoming a Leader in Me school, as well as the student materials to be able to go enter into that contract. And then the second fundraiser is, so the first is to sell Krispy Kreme donuts. We're looking at starting on February 6th, running that through February 14th. That does not conflict with Mountain View or the middle school. Middle school's already had their Krispy Kreme fundraiser, and Mountain View, I believe, just finished theirs up. And then the second is to serve concessions, to be able to sell concessions at the community league basketball games. So that season runs through the end of February, I believe, on Mondays and Tuesday nights.
Great thing about it is, like I said, I think staff members are involved very deeply in all of these. It's not just students.
Yes, sir.
It's great. Any questions?
Usually we see a 5K when there's Krispy Kreme.
Well, we do, that is another one of our fundraisers in May, the first weekend in May. We do have a color run at Iowa Valley. So,
Just check.
yes, tomorrow night is family fitness night, where we'll be
It'll be a great place.
working on our jump rope for heart, but then, February, we're gonna love the donuts.
I make a motion to accept her request for funding for fundraising.
Move to for both requests. I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Mr.
Thank you very
Sutton,
much.
Macon Early College concessions. This is something new, isn't it?
Well, we have had a snack machine there, and I tried to figure out where the project was going for the vendor, and he was only willing to offer 10 to 15%. So we just decided to do our own and stock it and sell it with your blessing, and that way we make 100% of the profit. So there's usually somebody always in the office there that can help the kids as needed.
And you and Ms. Cook have discussed the financial.
We have all the work we will.
That's the flow of the funds going to Angie. You'd be congratulated. Like I said, the more money we get to keep for our students, the better off we are. Okay. Any other questions?
Could you approve that pending Ms. Cook's approval?
All right, so the motion should be that we approve pending Angie's review of the flow of the monies. Do I hear that motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Mr. Mazza, I think you have two. Let's do both of those.
Yeah, band was ongoing every year.
So this is the same thing we've done in years past with them, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that's different is the pictures.
Sports pictures.
Yes, we don't have very good luck with live touch. First of all, scheduling, if it's raining, they're hard to get a hold of, they show up, blurred pictures. So what we're going to do is, we have our yearbook, I'm going to do it, Ms. Inslee, and put them on discs, and they can just buy a disc with all their pictures on it. It'll be $20, I think is what they came up with. They'll produce a disc, and you have all your sports pictures on it.
This will be for the parents.
Yes, for parents. 'Cause it's just a whole lot easier, and they'll have more than one shot. We'll have a couple team pictures. They take one picture of your child, and if it's not a good picture, it's done. There'll be 4 or 5 pictures of them on there, so it's really a much better deal.
Same thing with Angie. She will run the monies for that through her, correct?
Yeah, actually, it'll go through, I think we're going to run it through our athletic department is what we're going to do. It's just going to be, usually we have picture money, and that comes in and goes into the picture fund. This will just go through athletics. So it'll really just be like an athletic fundraiser.
That's what ours.
Any questions, Mr. Maslin? Additional questions? I entertain a motion on the two,
Make a motion to accept fundraisers as presented.
motion to accept both fundraisers as presented. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Mountain View Intermediate 912 Club. Where's the other? Where's the future MVI student?
Walk in the hall right out The 912 Club, each year they choose a local organization in the community to raise money for or to do work for them. And this year they chose the Humane Society. So they were wanting to put on a yard sale at one of the Saturday Community League ball games. at the school, since there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people that come to those games. The teachers would collect all of the money, the students would just be there to help be the salesman, and then 100% of the money would be donated to the Humane Society.
Well, those are great, so I do have some
Especially if it's going. Any questions?
donations of stuff for yourself
Yes, from the parents and the teachers.
and from board members. There you go.
If you have items, they would be glad to.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion to approve is presented. Do I hear a second? Second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? You may also, Chris, I could refresh everybody's memory. I think the 5K is this weekend for
It
your
is.
Washington trip. Is that right?
It was rescheduled for this Saturday. We had to cancel it due to the smoke
Last
a
time.
few weeks ago.
So I don't know the formal name. Is if you
The Eagle Run.
Yeah. So if you, I look at the board members. If you want to come and join me on Saturday morning, I will not be running. I will be trudging and walking. But everybody come out and we'll support a good cause. No excuses. There you go. Anyway. All right, Chris. Thank you very much.
Madeline, quit staring at me.
Yeah. And then school student council, Mr. Bryan.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, one of our teachers, the student council representative, and the students approached her about possibly having a basketball night, the viewing of the UNC Duke basketball game in our gym. We have a large screen that can project that game. We would not be charging admission for the game, only concessions, and would like to also do some raffles or half-court shooting, and that money would go to the prom and pep rallies, etc., that the student council are responsible for. There are 2 games, February 9th and March 4th. Pending if March 9th is successful or not, they would like to have blessing to have it the second game, so we wouldn't have to come back and do it twice.
Okay.
And you're going to make sure they know the right team to root for, right?
Carolina.
I'm trying to say, yeah, I was trying to say I would come, but I'd probably make my preference way too strongly. So
I would say
You need to make sure Mr. Dentford's there.
for you. That's cool.
He will be.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion to approve. And a second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So from the food.
Thank you.
We've given it to them the last 10 years.
All right, I think that's it as far as our fundraising requests. I didn't miss any. Personnel report. Everybody, all the board members had a chance to review that. Were there any questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion that we approve as presented. The motion approved as presented. Do I hear a second? Second. I have a motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Policy Exceptional Children's Services Contract. I see Nancy's here. Mr. Rush has done this several times for us in the past.
Yes, he has, and the funds will be coming from Exceptional Children's Program.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Dr. Baldwin, assurances for 21st Century Community Learning.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Centers.
I expected representatives here from the Southwestern Commission, Dr. Kyle Ledford or Cy Simmons, to find out if there was a miscommunication about the date and time. But they were going to be here to answer any more questions or any additional questions that the board might have about this agreement. John has had an opportunity to look it over. Basically, this is places Macon County into the running for to receive the grant funding to help at-risk students, particularly after school, but not limited to after school services, can also include during school. Now, at any time, if Macon County would like to pull out of the grant, we can, but I would like to have Mr. Simmons or Mr. Ledford here to provide any additional information at the February board meeting to act on this.
Mr. Chairman, I have reviewed this agreement. Basically, this just lays out exactly what's required in the federal regulations that created this program. And virtually all of them are exactly the kind of things we have to do anyway. Things like provide a safe building and things of that nature. So I had no qualms about the program whatsoever.
It would, if we were approved for the grant, it would be $200,000 a year for 3 years.
Moody, I think your recommendation is that you feel like this is something we should do, Dr. Baldwin, correct?
It is. I think we could definitely benefit from that funding and also our students who are at risk of being.
I personally, unless the members, another member has an objection, I really see no reason, Dr. Baldwin's recommendation, I see no reason we shouldn't. I've read it over. I think it just gives us an opportunity to pull some money in that would be used for a very good purpose. So I personally think I would entertain a motion that we go ahead and approve it now so that we can start the process.
So move.
So agree with you, Dr. Baldwin?
It is. I would still like to have either Mr. Leffert or Mr. Simmons here to explain that in February meeting.
You're prepared for approval?
No, I think it's fine. Actually, since we can pull out a bit of time, our name is in the hat for the grant at this point, so it's fine if you give your
So
blessing.
really go ahead and do it. It's not going to help in any way. Just go ahead and wait.
It's just basically your blessing, I want you to have the information.
Okay.
And understand that if the board would like to pull out of this, if you're concerned about anything that Mr. Leffert and Mr. Simmons present to us, we can still pull out of the grant without obligating to it.
I was just worried about it, but it would help as far as processing.
We're in there now.
Okay.
We're in that process right now. John, you have anything to add to that?
I don't, I mean,
In that case, Tom, would you withdraw your motion? Agree to do so? All right, at this point, we'll just follow Dr. Baldwin's recommendation. Our vice chair has withdrawn, and nobody's just responded to the urging of the chairman about going ahead or withdrawing that motion at this time.
Money.
So,
Plus money.
we will then hold it since we're in the pot. We'll wait then until February when we can have the representative get all the information. Policy updates, Mr. Henning?
Mr. Chairman, everybody get comfy. There's only 43 policies here.
See you next time.
We'll do it pretty quick. I'm kidding, and I apologize for having these to you, copies for your review late. We will take up all of the bulk of these the next meeting. Hopefully, you will have had a month to look at them and see if you have any questions for me in the meantime. We do need to tackle 4 of these and 4 updates and 1 new policy tonight, however. So starting with policy 1310, deals with Title I parental involvement.
John, everyone has the policies in your packet that Renee gave you, in the great packet. I think there's copies of all 4 of the policies we'll be discussing.
The most significant change is in subsection B about parental notifications. For one, you'll see this in the next couple policies we'll look at too. Title I parent involvement under federal regulations is now Title I parent and family engagement. The details of how that's going to work, I'm a little unclear on, and we'll be working with our Title I folks to clarify as we move on. But at any rate, the more significant parts of this is it adds in a new section 11, 12, 13, if you start down 10, a significant amount of information that the schools are required to share as part of the notifications there. So that's the most important part with that one. And I don't know if you want to review all of these at once, Mr. Chairman.
I assume that we'll be doing this as a first reading tonight, is that correct?
Well, these are amendments, and under the new your new policy manual, an amended policy only really requires 1 reading. Now, it's to the pleasure of the board, but I believe that Carol needs these in place after tonight because of some deadlines that are coming up on Title I funding applications.
Well, John, I'm going to have to rely on you to read all of this and understand it anyway.
I will tell you, I have reviewed it more times than I care to mention, and that all of this comes from updated federal regulations. Every batch of policies that the School Boards Association does has kind of a central theme that the bulk of what they're bringing you is for a reason. This one is the Every Student Succeeds Act. It's the successor to No Child Left Behind federal laws. It's the new federal law, and so it has an impact on federal laws and federal programs like Title I. So that's why we need to handle this tonight, even though we're going to leave the bulk of it for the next meeting.
So you're basically telling me that we get to vote on this, but it's going to happen no matter what our vote.
Everything that's changing in this first, well, in all of these policies is in federal law regulation already that you're required to comply with. You also need it in policy because, and this is a good example of why we needed to get our policy manual up to snuff, because when things happen, like you go to apply for certain grants, they're going to say, show us your policies, and that, so we know that you're, you know Title I law and you're going to follow it. So
Sometimes we're having to scramble to make sure that that is in there.
yes, that would be what we're doing now, definitely.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, I don't know, does the board care to vote on these individually, or?
I'm gonna look at, I'm looking at Carol and Nancy. Have y'all had a chance to review this? Because I see Title I coming up. You feel comfortable that this addresses any concerns we might have and anything else?
No, basically your parent involvement, like as John said, is now parent involvement and family engagement. They have added some more language to that. It's essentially the same thing. We have a parent involvement policy already in place, and this just adds to it. We're supposed to notify parents, teacher qualifications, their participation in school activities and everything. This next section talks about the testing, accountability, how information is disseminated to parents, in which we've basically been doing. It's been involved in our policy all along.
And the things that are highlighted there are all, it's all information that's already been
it's out
there anyway, but now you're just required to share it as part of the notices for Title I.
John, please don't, I'm not trying to insult you when I look at those other ones, because I know you've looked at them. I'm just looking at our two. I consider our two experts.
Take their word on Title I before mine any day.
That's what I'm saying. And as long as I like them, as long as they say on the policies we're good, then I have no issues.
We are. And basically, these policies are already in place. They've just been amended to occur.
We're just tweaking them.
They're amended to include the new language of ESSA that took the place of No Child Left Behind. Am I right,
These numbers
John?
listed as we went through it.
Am I
So,
correct?
okay.
That's correct.
I would make a motion to accept these policy changes.
For policy 1310.
Correct me if I'm wrong, John. 1310, 1320, and 4125 all flow in with the same areas, correct?
Essentially, I will point out the one other significant difference in any of these that I think it's relevant for you to know about, and the change in the law, is that students in foster care are now required to be treated pretty much the same way that students in homeless students have been. That's one of the more significant changes in this. But having said that, Mr. Chairman, I do think that that is the bulk of the changes that are in front of you in these policies. And those are 1310, parental involvement, 1320, Title I, parent and family engagement, 4120, domicile residence requirements, and 4125, homeless students. And I'll handle that one next. I have one other policy, but those
And that
are
last
the
policy was the
updates.
one that you gave us when you came in?
No, I have one more policy to review.
So you still want to review 3565?
I can, I think we need to handle it separately because it is a first reading.
It's a first read on that. So let me correct myself. So we have three that you're, right now, we're talking about reading.
4, 1310, 1320, 4120, and 4125.
You know, I don't see 41, yeah, we don't have 4120, but, so real quickly, just so we can say we've reviewed it a little bit, Tim, I think Tim has it up there, so that's not what's in the packet. So,
The only change in this is, as Mr. Bell was saying over here, that they have added students in foster care to, they essentially are treated the same way as homeless students have been.
the only thing we have is what you highlighted there, that's the one.
That's the only change, yes.
Okay, so you would want me to make the motion to accept 1310, 1320, 4120, and 4125 changes.
I think that's a form of a motion.
Second.
Have a motion that we accept the amendments as presented for the mentioned policies. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, so by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Mr. Chairman, the other policy that you do, the one I just passed out to you tonight, is policy 3565. And what it does is ensures, it's the board's assurance to the federal government that when you receive Title I funds, you are not going to use them to supplant any state, local, or other federal funds. The point being, Title I, the whole idea is students that are at a disadvantage, and we measure that by their need of free and reduced lunch, so the socioeconomic disadvantage that they're at. That program is supposed to come in and supplement the amount of funding we can spend to try to educate those students. If the program was being used in such a way that you just removed funding that you got from other sources and filled it back in with those Title I funds, there's no advantage to those students. So what we're promising with this policy, and its whole purpose of this 3565, is to say we're not going to do that as a board. The Title I funds will not take the place of our state and local funds. That's the whole purpose of this. It is this is a first reading. It's a new policy. Actually, the School Board Association and DPI kind of got everybody in a tizzy about 2 months ago when they said, you have to have this by January 1st, and that wasn't actually the case. But people started having, emergency meetings and stuff that weren't really necessary. But it is necessary that you do get this in place as soon as possible so that there is no interruption in funding. So for that reason, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend you go ahead and suspend the second reading and pass this as a policy tonight.
So we have the policy in front of us.
And Dr. Baldwin, that is certainly something that we comply with anyway, correct? I mean, we use Title I money usually
Board would
to
not supplant.
add to the students.
That's
not
correct.
But now all of a sudden they're required.
Basically, the motion, what our council is asking is that we need to take this as first reading or move forward and take it as a second reading and approve. His recommendation is due to the urgency that we go ahead and take this as a second reading. I see Carol nodding her head and Nancy also, so we do this and move forward. As he explained, it's possible. It's what we gotta have. I will open it to the board.
Make a motion to accept the policy 3565 as presented for approval tonight.
We have a motion, we suspend the first reading and actually accept the policy as presented and approve it tonight based on the recommendation of council. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other discussion?
Covers not having a first reading, right, John?
Yes.
All in favor, some are saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Come on, some things. So, and next time, John, if we could, I know we have first reading, but can we kind of take, there's no rush, can we kind of break this down? How many policies are we going to be reviewing coming up total?
We'll break them down. I'll see if I can't at least group them into a way that'll make them go faster.
Right.
And would also make it convenient if all of your eyes are rolling back in your heads and you'll say, okay,
Right.
That's enough for tonight. Let's take
Okay,
it.
so I'm thinking 5, maybe 10, no more, something like that. If you group those, that would be.
Yes, sir.
It's about all my mental makeup can handle after a long day, so if you don't mind.
Understood.
Dr. Baldwin, Macon Early College Makeup Days.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as you recall, Franklin area schools suffered some inclement weather back in January the 9th and 10th, I believe it was. We missed 2 school days. And on the Franklin area calendars, we've designated February the 20th and March the 10th as makeup days. Macon Early College would like to make their time up on May the 30th and March the 3rd.
Let's just go ahead and get all of those. I think they're all in the same thing. So, and then, so
Franklin
March
area
3rd
is-
and 30th for early college, and Macon County Franklin area will be
February 20th, March 10th.
10th, and then the other school.
Now, I have only missed 1 day, and they're planning on making that up on May the 5th.
Any other discussion? I'll make a motion. I'm sorry.
February 20th and March 10th.
I entertain a motion that we approve the makeup days as requested for both early college, Franklin area, and then middle school. A motion to accept all of the recommendations for 3 schools. Do I hear a second? Have a motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Highlands Country Club bus users, Mr. Gibbs.
Yes, sir. This is something that's been done on a yearly basis with the approval by the board. It's the same as it's been in years past. Use it June 12th to 16th. 2 buses. Those would be the 2 Highlands buses for those 5 days. And of course, that's in the summertime. There's nothing else going on. So.
And this is a direct benefit to our children in Macon County. So, any other questions? Have a motion that we accept as presented. Do I hear a second? Have a motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Budget amendments. Angie?
First from the state, and we received an additional allotment of $80,023 in state for the bonuses that are, Dr. Baldwin's going to talk about a little bit later, the 3rd grade reading bonus, the AP bonus, and the CTE credentialing bonus. That's the bulk of it. There was additional $2,650 allocated to PRC 003, which is the normal allotment that we get for subs occasionally.
And federal?
The other is federal, and we had an overall increase of $58,388.08. We did have some decreases, and these are adjusting based on the planning allotments that we started out the year, based on the actual allotments that we've just been receiving over the last month or so. So we have had a reduction in some of the funds that we thought we were going to have. So we're just catching them up to the actual.
Did the increase supersede the decrease?
Yeah, we had a total overall increase of $58,000.
Okay, I wasn't sure when you said $58,000.
And that $78,000 is actually a grant that we applied for and received, which is, that's pre-K, isn't it, Nancy, 114?
Yes, wait, 114?
It sounds like they're doing a good job with grant applications.
Any other questions of Angie on the state and federal amendments? Here's motion to approve. So moved. Motion to approve the amendments as presented. Do I hear a second? Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Change in our mileage rate, Angie.
We had a huge change in our mileage rate. The state says now instead of 54 cents, we're going to 53.5 cents.
Assuming there's whatever. That's in line with the IRS. I don't think there's really much discussion about that. I entertain a motion that we approve the request as presented. So moved. Do I hear a second? Motion second. All in any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Board of Education information, IC road information, Mr. Gibbs.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'm sure in wintry weather in the past on the TV, you hear no buses on icy roads. To us, that's been kind of a nebulous phrase. So we've tried to give some more information and details on that. So with the feedback from bus drivers who obviously are the people who know the roads best, and also from the principals of the various schools, we've come up with a list of roads that we all have deemed that will not be run when we say no buses on icy roads. Now with the roads delineated between areas within the Franklin area, we can always say no buses on icy roads in the Iola Valley community. That will then just delineate those roads in that category, whereas the roads in South Macon, Carthusia, and East Franklin, the bus will run on all those roads. We, of course, get our information on what the roads are like based on DOT feedback, based on 911 dispatch feedback. We also have bus garage guys who actually go out and ride the roads. Mr. Bell rode the roads last winter weather. I did. Dr. Baldwin did. Law enforcement. Where we get information from, that's where we get it from. This is a work in progress. We have a pretty substantial list for each area. This is not anything that is written in stone. We will tweak this as we go. This is a first try at this, so there'll be some tweaking as we go.
Can you show them where it's at on the website?
Yes, if you would please, that'd be great. So on Macon County Schools website will be the list of all the roads, all the areas, all the roads. On each school's website, there'll be just a list of those roads for that school's area.
And it'll be on all the websites, up under resources up at the top, under parent information. You'll find the list of IC roads that will be updated when it's
This is not something that we will use on a regular basis. I expect this will be done rarely during the school year. And I also need to point out that it's not anticipated that we will run no bus on icy roads on in all of those communities on the same day. If we have a situation where we've got that many icy roads, we will just cancel school. This will probably be used in situations where we've only got snow in one area in the Franklin area, one community in the Franklin area, or two communities in the Franklin area.
Tim, I saw a link on there that says about, go back to the first openings, that list. Can you click there? Does that take someone visiting there? It says list roads not run in ice conditions. When you click that, it takes it to there. And then we go through, so our parents, we can know that our immediate friends can put that out. It's there, and they want to go check, and that's readily available on the website. Even I can find that. I think that's the same.
But eventually, if you click on, for example, Iola Valley's website, they'll have the roads just listed for Iola Valley. Now, granted, when we have bus drivers out there and they see a road that's not on this list, that's icy, it's at their discretion. We feel that they will take the kids' safety as #1 priority. And if there happens to be a road on there that is icy, they won't run it. But they'll call in on the radio to that school, and we'll get that on the list and make a call out to those parents to let them know as soon as we can.
And when we call no bus on icy roads, there may be situations where some of these roads are clear. And we hope the parents understand that we're just trying to err on the side of caution. Also tomorrow, the principal will be directed to the bus drivers and parents and designate pickup locations where any of these roads can be picked up on a bus.
Good deal. Thanks. Very nice thing to be doing, and it helps solidify the whole equation, shall we say.
Work in progress.
Good deal. Any questions by the board members? Mr. Gibbs? Moving on, the inclement weather scout guide, Dr. Baldwin.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Anytime we call a weather delay or a change in the schedule for school, there's always questions from employees about how they should use their time and when will the day be made up, how will the day be made up, what can they do if their road's icy and they can't make it to work. This communication here outlines some of the options that employees have, and hopefully answers a lot of their questions. We're still available here at the central office. If they have any questions, they give us a call. But I think this provides them a little bit more information about how they can handle snow days and vacant days and that sort of thing.
So this is going to be provided to all our employees?
It's already been provided to the beginning teachers last week, and it's on our website.
It's on under faculty resources in the top.
And I'll share it with the principals tomorrow.
And I'm going to pass on so the all employees know where to find it, I'm assuming. Good. Okay. So, like I said, for those like me, technology challenge, we don't have anybody in their step that is saying, still have to know where it's at. Very good. 2017 board meeting schedule. Dr.
Yes,
Baldwin.
Mr. Chairman, in your packet, I believe you have the schedule for 2017. Is it in the packet or just on the You didn't change something, Coach? You didn't
change something already?
I had that trip from Highlands to Nantahala, but well, I can't complain. Stephanie does too. Something up there I put on.
So it's going to be when?
22nd of May. That's when I had barbecue sauce all over me by the time I got down here that day.
That's the 22nd of May. Is there another date that would be, any day besides that day would be good for you?
Not any day.
I understand, so May 22nd is the one you have an issue with, correct? So that would be, can we, what does May look like? Yeah. What about Tuesday? Would that work all right, Ms. 22nd? Does Tuesday work better, like having a bit of killer, like having the 23rd? Right. Okay. Let's pencil in then the change for May 23rd for our trip to Nantahala. We do want to go over there. Dr. Baldwin, June 26th, is that our trip? Monday will be gone, we should be, all right, everybody look at it. Anything else we need to change now? Jumps out at you? So, what we're going to adopt it in, which is the one change for May 23rd and then Nantahala. Any other changes? So, I would entertain a motion with respect to one change, and we adopt this as our tentative schedule for 2017 with the one change to the 23rd in May. Bear meeting in Nantahala. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. You opposed? So moved. So, superintendent information. I think that's what we're next. Dr. Baldwin, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Which one do you want to do first? Coming events
We
or
can
third
just, we
grade?
can just go coming events and just the normal school activities for the next month. We don't really have any extraordinarily important events coming up. The third grade reading bonus, and that should include advanced placement, of course, teacher bonuses, as well as career tech ed certification bonus. Basically, what happened in the 2016-17 budget cycle, the legislature appropriated $5 million that was to go towards providing bonuses to certain teachers in our across the state. Those included third grade reading achievement as determined by a teacher's educator value added assessment system index for academic growth, career tech educational teachers for certifications, and advanced placement teachers whose students scored above a level 3 on the advanced placement exam. These bonuses are somewhat different levels. For instance, the third grade reading teachers, if they qualified for the top 25% in their district, they received a bonus of $3,750. Is that right, Amy?
It's $3,523.
$3,523. What was the state bonus?
$2,832.
Okay. And then an advanced placement teacher would receive $1 for every teacher or for every student who scored above level 3, and a CTE teacher would receive $50 for every student who received certification. Is that correct?
It was $400.
Oh, for the CTE, $400 for every certification. So these were varying amounts. I'm happy to report that we had a number of third grade teachers who qualified for the reading bonus. Obviously, we need at least 5 of our teachers are going to qualify for local bonus because 5 is 25% of our third grade teachers. But what we were excited and pleased to find out was that 16 of our 19 third grade teachers are in the top 25% in state based on the ELOS scores. So that is remarkable that our third grade teachers scored that well, and our students showed that much growth in third grade. I think that those third grade teachers are to be commended for the job that they do. I think that we also need to recognize the job that the K2 teacher did in preparing the students and laying the foundation that allowed them to grow that much in the third grade. I also think that we've got several programs going on right now in Macon County that have contributed to that, as well as community programs such as the Read to Me program and support from Rotary and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library and things like that we can be grateful for and have help these teachers and these students to show academic growth in third grade. Angie, exactly how many teachers do we have that qualified for the AP loan?
I think there was 6.
And
I'll
one
verify
teacher
that.
qualified for the CTE?
1.
One of the caveats to these bonuses is that in order to receive the bonus, a teacher must be teaching in that field this year. They had to show that growth in EVOS or show those student achievement AP and CTE, and also be teaching those courses this year. We're still working through determining how many of those teachers qualify. We did have some teachers that left third grade or left AP. Sometimes it was their choice, and sometimes it was for other reasons, such as an AP course may not have had enough student interest at Franklin High School to be able to offer the course this year. That's out of that teacher's hand. I would like for the board to consider paying those bonuses out of local funds where we can't apply the state criteria to the bonus. I'd like to make that request. John, would you like to word that into a bonus motion we could use if the board chooses to do that?
Yes, Dr. Vaughn. I think the proper motion would be to allocate sufficient funds from local funds to permit teachers who otherwise would have qualified for the bonus to be paid the same as how they paid it to be held harmless.
Thank you for wording that. I don't have to go. Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to do what John said.
Approve the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Again, yeah, everyone should receive and make the good edge of the state sometimes just blows my mind, but it is what it is. So there we go. Anything else, Dr. Baldwin?
No, sir.
With the boards, I know we're ready to go, but we have Ms. Love with us tonight, so I'm going to put her on the spot and ask her. I keep getting emails to give everyone an update on where we're at with our STEM program. I keep reading good things, so if you would just give us kind of a highlight of how everything's going.
Yeah, it's going really well. We have our first STEM coffee house hopefully next Monday. The first one was snowed out, so hopefully next Monday, which is going to be at the Rathskeller, and I have about 18 high school students signed up right now. I plan on sending a Connect Ed home to try to fill that with 30. And that's a career development program. And we've had quite a few of our students attending the Hidden Figures film at Ruby Cinema, which is highlighting STEM in the NASA program. And so we were able to offer some scholarship funds through the NASA grant that we have for that. Goodness, getting ready for camps coming up. We're going to start an after-school program at Mountain View Intermediate School and Macon Middle School. Have STEM Family Night at Highland School coming up in March. And just excited about summer coming up and lots of programs. So it's going really well.
And we had how many teams that competed in the state?
Yes, we had 5 teams that went to state and Greensboro, and we had a great time. We didn't place in any of the top 3 categories, but it was only our second year doing robotics and our first time to state. And yeah, we had 5 teams. So Nantahala had a team, Macon Middle School had 2 teams, Mountain View had a team, and Macon Early College had a team that went.
Very good. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I think that puts us toward the end. Anything, any of the board members, anything coming from the board at this time? If not, okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Do I hear a second? Second. A motion second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? You already stated by yourself. So moved.
Timing with that rising orchestra.